What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another West New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today comes from the 42 North Brewing Company, and they're out of East Aurora, New York, and this is their Wallonia Wit. So this is a Belgian-style Witbier that comes in at 5.4% alcohol by volume, 22 IBUs at the time of review. This can is just under 1 month old. So it's been a little over 4 years since I've reviewed something from 42 North on the channel, which is absolutely absurd. And one of the New Year's resolutions here on the channel was to be a bit more diverse when it comes to the breweries that I review for West New York Wednesday. So this year, I'm going to return to the roots of West New York Wednesday and review a lot more breweries in and around Buffalo. And we got 42 North here. Earlier this year, I reviewed a beer from Flying Bison. We're going to keep it rolling probably every couple weeks with a brewery that I haven't reviewed in a while. Anyway, full disclosure, I've had this beer before a couple times. I had it on a draft both times, so I never had it packaged whatsoever. So I wanted to grab this one. This is, from my recollection, just like a really good Belgian-style Witbier. It was always well done. Not amazing or anything, I just really enjoyed it. Now, however, on the side of the can here, it does say, I believe this one is brewed with my Witbier and Citra hops, which those aren't all that typical for the style. So we're gonna pour this, and then I'll tell you about this batch specifically. So it was Kenny, who works over at Premier Gourmet, one of my favorite local bottle shops in the Buffalo area. It's in Amherst, New York. He mentioned that this batch, I think they're doing a little bit of like a test run. They're tweaking a little bit. So I don't know if the Waimea and Citra are part of that, but kind of weird to see them in a Belgian-style Witbier, but it is what it is. So I did roll this one before I started the review. We'll see. Yeah, we got a nice cloudy kind of nature to it. Not going to pour it all the way. I want to get my nose in there so we can get a good aroma, but do something like that. Now, I'm smelling it from, about a foot away, and it's very vibrant in the Belgian character. Now, on the front of the label here, it just says Citrus Spice Belgian. All of that, yes. Anyway, yes, that looks like a Belgian Witbier. It's going to look more dulled out on camera in person. Very bright, vibrant, like I'd say like yellow orange color. Almost looks like a lighter orange juice of some sort. Honestly, looks like a hazy. It looks like an old school hazy IPA. Hold it up to the light. There's a little bit of light that gets through to the bottom here. It almost looks more like sunshine when you hold it up to the light. The head, it was about a finger of a bright, fluffy looking head, now dissipated to a thin film, trying to get it almost back to a finger of head. Yeah, I mean, it's hazy, it's murky, it's kind of what you want out of the style. It looks nice, so let's get a nose. Yeah, everything they said on the label, 100%. There's a lot of lemon and orange, and I think this one, most Belgian-style Witbiers usually are orange peel and coriander. I'm pretty sure that's what they're brewing this one with, obviously, which is why it's a Belgian-style Witbier. But it feels like the citrus is a little bit more amplified. Maybe the Citra hops and Waimea, perhaps. But there's like a lot of lemon. There's a lot of orange, maybe tangerine. But underneath that, it's Belgian Witbier. There's a lot of a wheat sensation in the nose. There's a coriander. There's a little bit of maybe like a clove. For sure, it definitely has that Belgian yeast is doing its job here. Ooh, maybe even like a peppery kind of note as well. It smells like I should be drinking this in the middle of summer, honestly. Right now, we're in the middle of winter, and it's pretty cold outside, although all the snow that has fallen is now gone. But it's not like super cold, but I feel like I want this on like a 75, 80 degree day, and just, you could throw a bunch of them back. But it smells pretty good. Smells to style. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. I can't see anybody who is a fan of the Belgian Witbier style picking this one up and being disappointed off of that first sip of what is in my glass. Like, yeah, it's pretty well made. Buying this one's like lower side of medium, approaching medium. It's a little bit lighter, which is nice, 5.4%. Makes it much more refreshing and dare I say, quaffable. The mouthfeel, it has a moderate carbonation, but at the same time, it does have this like smooth and like creamy sensation, almost like a cloud when you're drinking it. It's really weird with these beers and like Hefeweizens, where it's like, it's carbonated, but it still has like this softness to it, right? Like it hits it in stages. Like the front of the palate, you know, the carbonation dances on the tongue, but as you finish it, it kind of just glides down the throat hole, and it's just like, it's again very fluffy, right? Pillowy. The taste, not super complex, not meant to be for the style. There's a lot of citrus here. Again, lemon, it's orange, it's tangerine, it's both candied and also like juicy, but also a little bit of that like rind and pith. It encompasses the whole fruit. So you get a bunch of different characteristics from those citrus fruits right at the front. That's kind of what hits me. Underneath the palate, there's this nice wheat component that you know it's a wheat beer of some sort. Midway through the palate is where the spice hits, and it's coriander, clove, a little peppery nature. Almost like a little bit of like a Belgian Saison kind of popped in here with that peppery note. Finishes semi to full on dry, very mild bitterness, not too sweet though. That dryness really drowns out the malt sweetness at the front of the palate. 5.4%, you really can't tell. It's just a really nice, well-made Belgian Witbier. Like, again, I will say this, Belgian Witbiers are not my favorite style. In fact, in general, like low ABV wheat beers, I don't usually gravitate towards. I've said it before, if you've ever seen like me review Bell's Oberon Ale, I've talked about how like the American Pale Wheat Ale style, one of my least favorite, just don't like. If I want a wheat beer of some sort, I'll go to Belgian's Witbier, or I'll go to a German Hefeweizen. My favorite is a German Hefeweizen. Like, I think the banana, the clove you typically get out of the yeast, that works more for what I'd kind of want. This is more refreshing though. This is like an easy crushing crusher of a beer. Like it totally is. But it's not my favorite style, so I don't usually go nuts about beers like this. Is this setting a new standard? It is not. However, if you're here in the Western New York area and you're in the mood for a Belgian style Witbier or Belgian Witbier, and you don't want to go with a classic actual Belgian Witbier, and you want something from a local brewery, this is the one to grab if you're in Buffalo. Like this is one of their, I think, staples going back to when they first opened the brewery. It's always been, as far as I know, on tap. I don't know how frequently they would can this one. They do different variations. I think earlier, or I should say late last year in 2023, they put out a pineapple version of this one I have not tried. But I think this is just a really well-made base Belgian-style Witbier, and it's approachable to, I think, anybody who likes wheat beers in general. And that's kind of where I'll leave this one. So I'll pour the rest into my glass, or as much as I can, and then we will rate this one. So I would say for a Belgian-style Witbier, it's pretty damn good, for being honest. The Citra and Waimea, I don't notice any like significant like hop character here that's outside the norm for the style. Maybe it has amplified that citrus tone a little bit, like more of the lemony kind of orange and tangerine notes, but you don't get any really like hop character anywhere on the palate as far as like it's standing out. So I don't know, you know, if they tweaked it a little bit, they didn't tweak it too much. This might be a little bit better than I remembered, so maybe they have. I don't know. Anyway, Wallonia Wit from 42 North. I have absolutely no issues whatsoever giving this beer right here I'll give it 2 ratings. I'll give it my personal rating and the style. Stylistically, for a Belgian-style Witbier out of the US, I'd give this like a 4.3 out of 5, like a high 4.25, 4.3 out of 5. Really well made. For my own personal rating, I'm going to give this a high 4. I'm going to go 4.05 out of 5. I think this is just extremely well made. There's not much else to say about it other than that. And, you know, simplistic label, but I dig it as well. There's a little bit more going on if you look actually through the label and whatnot. But, yeah, I think it's a really nice, well-made beer. Anyway, price point availability. Here's where this is really nice as well. At Premier, these were $10.99 a 4-pack. And I think I paid like, I want to say it was like $2.79, $2.89 for a can. Like, that's a pretty good price point nowadays when it comes to beer. So $11 a 4-pack for a very well-made Belgian-style Witbier from a local brewery. Yeah, you could do much, much worse. I think that's a pretty good value. And the availability, here's where it's a little bit of a bummer. I know a lot of folks that watch the channel are not here in the Buffalo, New York area or even the West New York area. So I'm pretty sure 42 North is only in New York State and only parts of the state. Could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. I think you can order stuff from the website. I think they ship, but probably just through New York State. So you got to kind of be in the West New York area to get their stuff. As far as I know, maybe not. Maybe they've gotten some distro outside of the state, but I'm not really up to date on the distro in general. Let me just tell you something about distro. it's wonky, it's bonkers, it's all over the place. So many weird things happening with distro. So I would say go to their website, see if you can get stuff shipped to them if you wanted to try something like this out. But if you're here in the West New York area, you can find them at a bunch of different bottle shops, and I think they even get into like Wegmans and stuff. Or go to the brewery in East Aurora. I've been there before. Beautiful, beautiful brewery, and East Aurora is awesome. Go get some wings at Bar Bill and have yourself a jolly old time. Anyway, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Like I said, 5.4%, you really can't detect it. I'm going to go drink the rest of that and enjoy every second. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another West New York Wednesday. Check back next Wednesday. I should be reviewing a beer from Big Ditch. They're basically juice, which is a 9%. I'm pretty sure it's like a hazy double IPA. It's called basically juice. I'd imagine it's supposed to be like a juicy, hazy double IPA. We will see. Anyway, appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers.